This is MDREGION India Private Limited.
Hello, today we have Jason from minlab and we are going to talk about Equinox and Manticore. It is a new product of minlab company. What is better in Equinox 900 and 700 as compared to Equinox 600 and 800?
So in the Equinox 700 and 900, there's some differences between the previous models. The first one is it has a carbon fibre shaft. It includes a brand new 119 target ID. It has vibration in the handle, and it also has a flashlight on the rear of the control pod. The backlight on the newer models is red, unlike the previous version, which was white.
It gives extra depth also?
It does. The Equinox 900 has 28 levels of sensitivity. So with those additional sensitivity levels, you will get better depth. What the Equinox 700 and 900 have over the Equinox 600 and 800 is what we like to call a better discrimination depth, which is where you get a more solid target ID at a better depth than what you did previously.
Is it waterproof? Can we use it underwater?
Yes. So the new models are waterproof to 5 meters. The previous ones were waterproof to 3 meters.
What about pinpoint mode in this machine? How can we use it?
Yes. So the all Equinox models have the pinpoint option. So there's a button in the middle of the control pod. If you push that, it will zoom in on a target in the center of the coil, and you'll see the two. As you see your discrimination scale, you'll see when you get closer to the targets, they'll come closer together.
What is the target ID in new range, new series?
Yeah, so the Equinox 600 and 800 have 50 target IDs. The new Equinox 700 and 900 have 119 target IDs. So there's -19 to 0, which is our ferrous region, and then there's 1 through to 99 for non-ferrous.
What is the actual target ID of gold and copper in new series of Equinox?
So gold, if you're talking about a natural gold nugget, that will vary because no gold nugget is ever the same when it's formed. 24 karat gold, depending on how it's sort of shaped and formed and how dense it will, can also change slightly as well. But I would expect that to come up around 37, 38, maybe up to 40, as that's a lower conductor. Your copper targets are going to come up a lot higher. They're going to come up in your mid-70s to mid-80s. So between sort of 76, 77 up to maybe 83 or 84. Depending on the copper target and how it's made.
How iron bias helps in treasure hunting?
Yep. So the iron bias is the way the detector reads ferrous objects. If you have an object in the ground that has some iron content in it or some ferrous content, if you have your iron bias set high, it will pick up that target and read it as a ferrous object. If you have your iron bias set lower, it will pick up that object and potentially see it as a non-ferrous object and give you a positive target ID on it. So in the Equinox 700 and 900, there have been some enhancements that our engineering team have made to the iron bias settings to give customers better performance in helping the detector read whether the target in the ground is an iron target or isn't. So that just helps remove some of the iron falsing, and it's called FE. Now, there are, in the Equinox 600 and 800, there were 2 options. There was the FE option and the F2 option. The FE iron bias in the Equinox 700 and 900 is based off of the F2 iron bias in the previous models. So it is a lot better than what it was previously in FE.
What is the difference between MindLab, Manticore, and Equinox series?
Yeah. So the main difference between Manticore and the Equinox is the 2D target ID. So having a 2D screen on the detector will help all of your customers to read all of the ferrous or conductive targets in the ground. So with the previous detectors, we have a numerical scale which tells us if it's iron or non-iron. On the Manticore, that's shown on a screen. So it gives users a lot more information about a target before they dig it up, because they can visually see where the target ID is and how ferrous or non-ferrous it is.
I'm very curious to know how many frequencies are presented in MindLab Manticore.
In multi-IQ, the magic question and the magic answer is I don't know. So with a lot of our technology, particularly with multi-IQ and multi-IQ Plus that's used in the Vanquish, Equinox and Manticore detectors, all of that technology has patents on it. Now, our engineering team won't actually release to us what frequencies are used in multi-IQ, and it's to protect the company's technology. So what they have told us is that the multi-IQ signal is made up of a mixture of the manual frequencies. So we've got in the Equinox, we've got 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 and 40 kilohertz. Multi-IQ is just made up of a mixture of those. Manticore is exactly the same. It uses the 5, 10, 15, 20 and 40 kilohertz, and it's a mixture of those signals.
What is coming next? Is it Xterra?
What's coming out next?
What is going to launch?
I don't know. We've just released 3.
Okay.
Who knows? Well, the Xterra Pro has technically been released. It's not available yet. We don't have a time frame on that at this point in time. I dare say it'll be here this year sometime.
Thank you, Jason, giving for your valuable time.
Yep, you're welcome, Rajiv. Thank you for having me, and it's my pleasure.